Minute Report. The show is brought to you by David Morgan of the MorganReport.com. This is your host, Alexander Horat, and today we're going to be interviewing a millennial microgreen farmer named Joseph. But before we get into it, if you could please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, that would be really appreciated. Hello, Joseph. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you how you first started getting into microgreen farming.
I started getting into it about 3.5 years ago now, and I started the microgreens. I had just recently had my first kid, my daughter Alexandria, and had previously been working a 9 to 5 type job, and I first learned about microgreens from my dad, and then I had watched a lot of different stuff on YouTube. I use YouTube to kind of learn from other farmers on how to do it, and I moved away from the 9 to 5 and put everything into the microgreens. I wanted to be at home with my daughter, and I just work in that type of job. I worked at a pest control company, and I didn't really care for it, but it paid the bills. But this was something that I could be a little more flexible and still, eventually it was a lot of work. It was a long process, but I can say now, 3 years later, that it was a very good choice to get into it, because I've gotten into a really good group of people at these farmers markets, and yeah, I'm really blessed. So it's been really good experience so far.
Yeah, that's really great. So, what were some of the hurdles that you had in starting your own business?
At first, I had started the microgreens in my living room, kind of next to my kitchen. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was on the top floor. And I started with a rack in the kitchen, and working at a local market that was called the Farmery. That when it was around, it was really good market, and started that. And then so that was the thing with space, but luckily with the microgreens, you're able to do quite a bit with a little amount of space. So now I do my greens in a shipping container, but at the beginning it was space and the overhead for racks and lights and things like that, because I do everything indoors. So but yeah, so I moved from the apartment to a townhouse. I did it in a garage for a period of time, and that worked. So there's just little hurdles here and there, but slowly but surely I'm now got a good way of doing it. The shipping containers got pretty mobile, and that's a nice aspect of it.
Yeah, that's great. So, what are some tips you can give to other entrepreneurs starting their own small businesses?
Well, I think if you're gonna, be an entrepreneur, self-employed, you have to, definitely give it your all, and go into it with the right tools and do a lot of research on whatever it is that you're passionate about. It has to be something that you're passionate about too. I was still am, getting into health and better eating and all that. And that's what got me passionate. I was passionate about that. And the microgreens just something like the best thing to do to, be in that space and earn money and everything. So yeah, you have to give it your all, and you have to just go all out, and
Yeah.
it happened.
Well, that's pretty great. So, it seems pretty important for people to know that a healthy body equals a healthy mind. So, could you tell the viewers a little bit more about microgreens?
Yeah. So with how I got into the microgreens was, first I was before the microgreens, I was going to school to be an EMT, and I got my EMR, and I was in the process of the EMT class. And I remember looking through the book, and it was talking about medicinal herbs, and how it was good for, some were good for anxiety and some were good for, different, whole different array of stuff. And that intrigued me, and I got more into it and more into it. And that's when I kind of realized, man, this is something I would like to do, and I moved away from the EMT uh, stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, so it seems really important that people need to follow their passion, like you're saying, do something that they like to do. So I would
Yeah.
like to ask you, was it hard switching from a 9 to 5 job to your own business?
Yeah, you have to be accountable. You know, you have to make things happen, and it's not like you just go to work and show up type thing. So, there's that. You have to be accountable for your business and what you're doing. And
Yeah, that makes sense. So it seems like a really important factor in having your own small business is that you have to have self-discipline. So
sure,
can you
yes.
tell the viewers how you were able to accomplish that?
Yeah, so like with self-discipline, that was, me getting into health and just self-improvement on my end. That's what really was my passion, I guess, was self-improving my mental health, my my physical body and everything. And that's what I really got passionate about, and the greens followed. But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this show is all about, investing, how millennials can build and preserve wealth. But I think the most important thing is investing in yourself and your own body. So, uh, how can people do that? What are some tips that you have on helping people's health?
Yeah, so just being more conscious on what we put in our body, because there's crap in almost everything, it seems like, wrapped up in a pretty box. And getting away from all the processed foods, and just changing your diet and your lifestyle, mostly, led to me, you know I don't know, breaking away, like being more mentally, you know able to, like, because I swear all that crappy food, man, it just gives you this brain fog. And you can't see what you're passionate about, for my case. And but yeah, so healthy mind and healthy body is always good. And
Yeah, that's definitely true. So, what do you think the future is of with organic farming? Do you think that's going to take back some of the old market share it used to have against GMO foods, or what are your thoughts on
sure,
that?
I think growing your own food is going to be really important, especially with prices of meat and all sorts of stuff going up. And um it's going to be important to grow your own food. And
Yeah, so it's a good way to combat, inflation in the food prices by growing it yourself,
yeah.
right? Is what. So, how can people, who haven't really done that before, start
Do what?
growing your own food? Like, what are some things that they have to do?
Got to start small. Got to start somewhere. So a little a little greenhouse, or a little, having your own chickens, or these are things that are gonna help you kind of
Yeah, that's
from the ever rising food prices, and being more self-sustainable.
so. Do you think people can, make like kind of a farmer community, with all the farmers markets and stuff? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the community's great. Farmer market community is great. You get to know where your food's coming from, and actually see the person that's growing your food. And I've met some really great people.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. How people can, just sell their own food, at these farmers markets and everything. It seems like it's really got to be, helping a lot of people, not eating these processed foods, with, all these chemicals and certain things as well, because they spray a lot of these foods with really bad chemicals, and it's really unfortunate that they're able to do that. So, could you tell the viewers a little bit more about your business and everything else where they can find you?
So my business is Mountain Microgreens, and we're here in Tuolumne County. We do a few markets up here, and we're in some of these health food stores. And um, but yeah, so I don't ship or anything, so that'd be kind of hard.
Yeah.
I wish
So
I did. I should probably get
could you,
into that.
could you tell the viewers a little bit about your website and Facebook, your social
Yeah,
media?
so we have a website, Mountain Microgreens, Mountain Microgreens Family on Facebook, and that's how you can get a hold of us.
Yeah, I really think it's great, that you have a family-oriented business. I think one of the benefits is that you get to spend more time with your family, right? And not
Sure,
in an office.
sure.
So that's a pretty important thing, everyone. So yeah, I think, doing something like Joe has done, investing in your health, investing in yourself, I think that's pretty important thing. Spending time with your family, unfortunately, a lot of Americans, they have to basically just only see their family at nighttime, and I think that's a real shame. What do you think of that?
Yeah, yeah. You got to do what you got to do. Put food on the table and make money, but it's you know, do what you're passionate about. Try to find a niche that you can, do what you like and still, support your family. That's the best,
Yeah, I
that's all
think
you do, man. But if you can do it, if you can make it happen, put your mind to it, you can make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing to leave with this interview. And I'd like to thank you, Joseph, for being on the show, and I hope we can have you on
Yeah.
again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See you soon.
yeah, and thank you to all the viewers who are watching this video. Please leave a like on this video and share it with your friends. God bless.